Service, the FBI, and U.S. Capitol Police are all on the alert for the possibility that additional package bombs will be sent to officials.
So far, none have made it to their intended targets. NBC News reporting tonight at least 7 different packages have been identified. The packages were sent to CNN in New York. Democrats and former government officials all have been critical of President Trump or targets of the president's own rhetoric. The president addressed the investigation at a rally tonight in Wisconsin.
My highest duty, as you know, as president, is to keep America safe. That's what we talk about. That's what we do. The federal government is conducting an aggressive investigation, and we will find those responsible, and we will bring them to justice, hopefully very quickly.
The president also talked about wanting all sides to come together and had this to say about the news media.
As part of a larger national effort to bridge our divides and bring people together, the media also has a responsibility to set a civil tone and to stop the endless hostility and constant negative and oftentimes false attacks and stories.
Former CIA Director John Brennan was one of those targeted. He says President Trump's rhetoric bears some of the responsibility for the pipe bombs addressed to President Obama, Hillary Clinton, and others. KXAN's Tom Miller is live on UT's campus, where Brennan repeatedly called out the president tonight. Tom.
Well, Sydney, Brennan says that the president stirs up anger and then encourages people to act on it, and that's what he believes happened today. Tonight, he is calling for people to change the way that they handle their political differences. Speaking on the UT campus, former CIA Director John Brennan says President Trump's words provoked the attempted attacks.
His rhetoric too frequently, I think, fuels these feelings and sentiments that now are bleeding over into potentially acts of violence.
A package with a bomb inside was sent to CNN in New York, addressed to Brennan.
If I and others are being targeted because we're speaking out and we're living up to our responsibilities as citizens, I think that, again, is a very unfortunate turn of events.
Packages were also addressed to the homes of President Obama, Hillary Clinton, and other high-profile Democrats. The president today speaking out.
Acts or threats of political violence of any kind have no place in the United States of America.
I'm tempted to say that was said by Donald who? So when he compliments individuals who have, in fact, body slammed others, or that he's going to pay the legal bills if somebody takes a swing at somebody, that can only be seen as encouragement and incitement.
Before the event, UT police brought in a bomb-sniffing dog, and officers were visible near the entrance. Given the deeply divided political climate, Brennan is asking for a new approach.
Try to do everything possible to bring that the level of discourse down so that we're able to engage in a very constructive and productive way.
Brennan added that Trump is a role model for a lot of people, and he hopes that his attitude today is a new direction for the president. Reporting live, Tom Miller, KXAN News.
The FBI says these packages have the typical warning signs the government looks for when screening for mail bombs. Too much postage is a giveaway. Bombers do not want to go to a counter to deal with a clerk. More than enough postage means you can drop it off in a box, and it should make it to its destination. A fake return address is a red flag. One of the packages claimed to be from Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Pictures show the word Florida was misspelled, as was the Congresswoman's name, and the office can quickly verify whether anyone there sent it out. The fake address is so it doesn't get sent back to the bomber. The addresses were typed out on homemade labels taped onto the packages. Handwriting is an identifier the bomber does not want to leave behind, and the package is an odd shape. The added weight would also be a giveaway to warrant further inspection.